And hello everybody, welcome back again to the Midnight Channel. This is Kuro, and today I have a review for you. This will be a review for Netflix show Sabrina. This will be not based on the original series or the cartoon, but based on the comics with the same name, which will be the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, which a lot of people, I remember whenever that show was announced, they were confused with the other show, and I can see where the confusion comes in. It is based on the same character, it's just the same characters, same kind of plot. It's just very different and vastly different from what a lot of people expected to see, and I can see where the confusion was. But I can see a lot of people got turned off from not seeing the same characters be the same way or anything like that. But to that, I would say ignore those comments, ignore your predetermination. If you have a chance, do take a look at the show. It is interesting. But now that being said, let me go ahead and explain the way that I'll do this review, and I'll do the same with other show reviews. So my reviews will have with different parts. I'll average all those parts and I'll give you the final score. In this aspect, I have three different parts. I have the plot or story, I have the characters, and I have the presentation. I think all these three parts make a good story shown in a show, and I feel like this will be a good way to just look at the overall whether I like that show or not. So for starters, we're going to talk about plot. So Sabrina, the way the story starts is really Sabrina, which is the main character, is a teenager that is basically becoming 16, and for witches, that will mean that they'll become full-fledged witches. But the trick is, or the thing is, that Sabrina is actually half mortal, half witch, so she kinda really has to choose in between these two worlds. As it turns out, she actually doesn't choose either of those two. She forges her own path, as she says it herself, and she decides to kind of live the fine line between mortal and witch. Will it work out for her? That's basically what the plot is. That's basically what you're looking to get there. The story really starts really interesting at first sight. However, the main plot is not really set on stone, so it's kind of a little bit hard to catch at first. But there is a lot of subplots that start coming up. So many threads start grilling, and some do pay off and some don't. So don't expect that every single thing that starts off ends by the end of the first season. This is a seasonal show, so a lot of the stuff that you see now won't really have much payoff at the moment. Some plots do, some plots just don't. It is a little bit hard to judge a season by season show, but these shows does have some interesting turns and twists, and just managed to pull the story through for now. The story is engaging, and some other characters are engaging as well. So for now, the story, season 1, I'll give it an 8 out of 10. It kept me fairly interested. However, like I said, it does suffer from being a little bit still at times, and there's just a little bit of the many subplots, a lot of subplots that I'm sure a lot of people get lost or just kind of just want to see paid off, and when you don't see them pay off, it just kind of leaves you wonder. And yeah, I guess that's the wonderful thing about seasonal shows, right? Right. Well, moving on from there, we'll be going towards characters, and I have a lot to say about characters, because this show, while the plot is not, because this is the first season, the plot depends on the characters, depends on the settings a lot. And well, this show is driven forward by a lot of vast array of different characters, because this show will take you back and forth between witches and mortals. The show tries to kind of show you a little bit of both worlds, and kind of like make appealing argument for both the mortals and the witches. So the majority of the actors did a pretty good job as far as portraying the different characters. Some of them did a better job than others, but I'll say the serious parts, they were well executed. You can see the hard job that they did, and when there were jokes or funny moments, they were also for the most part they landed well. So I think that was pretty good. So as a character, Sabrina, the main character, does show a character growth from the beginning of the show to the end of the show, and that's kind of what I was hoping to see, because that's, to me, that was the plot of the story. But at the same time, because they're trying to do a character growth for plot reasons, sometimes what you end up seeing is that the character growth gets contradictory. At times, it just contradicts itself. So for the most part, the character herself is very caring, very headstrong, will do anything for her friends, will do anything for her loved ones. But at the same time, she has another side of herself that is very smart and very cunning, and you can see her how it plays out at different times. However, as I mentioned earlier, her character comes into conflict with herself because of plot points. I'm not gonna get into spoilers here at all, so don't worry about that. But I will say that in some episodes she will be very cunning and very smart, be able to trick people into stuff. But sometimes she herself gets tricked and is not able to tell that people are deceiving her in some cases. And I feel that's a contradictory point. And shows how she's cunning yet very naive, and even at the end she's still aware that she's naive and it hasn't changed. At that point, well, there is some character growth, is definitely left a lot of room there for more growth. So will it change from now on? I think that might be possible. So moving on from there, she does have a array of different characters around her that surround both her life as a mortal and as a witch. So looking at her friends, for example, for the most part, their friendship seemed fairly believable. You see that they care for each other and everything, but their friends themselves, for the most part, are kind of like uninteresting. Especially at first, they're just very what's the word I'm looking for? They're just very, not boring per se, just bland. And all of them, or at least the two friends that she spends the most time with at first, they just kind of have this stereotype of a specific kind of person, or so they act exactly like that. Of course, with character growth and with plot, it does drive forward a little bit, but unfortunately, as I mentioned earlier, the character growth or progression doesn't come here as much as you see in other characters. Really, for the plot changes that happen to them, to pretty much all of the characters, they are the two that, while they change a little bit, they don't really change much. They stay pretty stale for a little bit. So yeah, now moving forward with another character, Harvey, which is a love interest here. He does have a lot of character progression. I feel like he will be, besides Sabrina, the other character that has the most character progression. Also, again, for plot reasons, I won't mention why or how, but I will say that his plot line gets resolved. He does have a payoff, and he's one of the more compelling characters in the story. I feel like, to me, he felt like one of those characters that you can't wait to see more of. He does a great job. The actor did a good job portraying their love relationship with Sabrina and everything that happens later on there. But I think that they did a great job there. And then, moving on, there is a lot of antagonist or sub-antagonist, and the story really did a good job. The writers did a good job portraying the antagonist. I'm not gonna get into there much because of plot reasons, but some of them do better than others. Some of them don't do much, and some of them just stay transparent throughout the entire show, at least for us the viewers, not as much as for the characters in the story. So overall, I'll give the character section an 8.5 out of 10. I feel like they did a good job bringing all these characters to life. Definitely some did better than others, but I feel like for now I'll give it what it got, and hopefully this will move forward with the next season. Hopefully this changes a little bit. I hope he does, and if he doesn't, then we'll see. Okay, so moving on, and at last, as I mentioned earlier, this is the last part of the three points that I have, and this will be presentation. Now, the presentation here is fairly interesting. This is a budget show. Of course, this is not gonna be your average $1 million show or anything like that. But that being said, all the sets look really good. I like the cinematography and the picture on this. It's really good. It looks really really nice. However, as far as music goes and sounds and everything like that, it was pretty bland. Nothing memorable of the sorts. But I want to say that there are many effects that they do, especially with the way that it looks. For example, there are certain plot points, or there's several parts when people use magic, and the image will show distorted around the characters, or when something magical is going on, it does that effect, and I love it. I love the way it looks. You know something's strange going on. You know something's going on there, and that's pretty cool. The characters, I'm sorry, the familiars that they have, the cat, Salem, or some of the other familiars that they show. So you can tell some of them are puppets. You can say some of them are real animals like Salem, which he didn't have much of a part to play here. Maybe later on he will, but as for now, he's just there. But they all look good. None of them look strange or weird or anything like that. So yeah, for presentation, I'll give this part a 9 out of 10. So yeah, if we add all those two together, or all those three together rather, we'll get an 8.5 out of 10. I will leave that as an 8.5 out of 10. I think the show does have its merits when it wants to, and it does have some stuff that bring it down a little bit. Overall, this is the first season, so it just leaves you hungry for more answers and everything. So I hope that they do a better job from now on there. Definitely looking forward for the second season. Hopefully it will come soon. I don't know, they take a lot of year to get, so hopefully by next time this year, by next year we'll have a new season and we can talk about it then. Well, that's it for now. Thanks so much for watching this video. If you like it, please like and subscribe. And if you have anything to share or to talk about this, I would like to hear it. I really like the show overall, and I feel like it's one of those shows that if you have Netflix, you should check it out. It is very interesting, and I know it has a series of controversies there I'm not going to get into, but I do believe that this is a show worth watching. Well, thank you for watching the video, and I'll see you later.